Hello listeners and welcome to the MacCorp special podcast where we're going to be interviewing JP from Gallon Lithium, ASX code GLN. And without further ado, welcome JP and good to catch up with you again.
Well, thanks for having me back. It's been a while now.
It has. November was our last one. And looking at all your announcements since then, there's been a lot happening.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, we always but I always say that we'll be busy doing things, and we have delivered quite a significant amount of news so we're in February, so probably 5-6 major things we've been unfolding, and there's more to come for the rest of the year as well, so all exciting times.
And lithium's had a good push in that time, since November.
Absolutely, yeah. Couldn't be happier with the turn with the market, and we are now riding the wave instead of being under 25 off the...
Where you deserve to be.
Well, thanks very much.
All right, so let's get into it. Since November, as you've already mentioned, there's been some exciting news and a lot happening with Gallon over the last 3 months. So let's start with the resource upgrade since our last podcast.
Yeah, we pretty much came out with a very good resource upgrade, and that, in other words, meant that we went above, close to by 500,000 tons above what POSCO purchased from Galaxy at the time, which is 2019, for 280 million. And in other words, we now have a large resource to seriously have a project going forward, and that links to the next thing that we published, which is the scoping study / PEA that was mainly performed by Worley. Worley's been a renowned company. We use them because of their reputation.
Everybody's heard of them.
Of course, yeah. We don't want to use John Smith Engineering. So, and what transpired from that study were fantastic numbers in terms of the economics. We came out with one of the lowest studied OPEX per ton, around $3,500 a ton. Live and production.
Now, just to put that in perspective, what are some of your peers?
Yep, Livent is producing at around $3,500 a ton today. If we compare to what Lithium Americas, which is the largest project in Argentina, has as OPEX, it's around $3,500 a ton. Now, if you compare to other peers in the region, then you start seeing straight away that what we have is making more sense, because companies like LPI has a OPEX of close to $3,800 a ton. Companies like Lake Resources, they go close to $4,200 a ton. So now we're getting
incredible.
$700 a ton lower than them,
yep.
And then so on. So there's a room for improvement, but that shows that we're not depending on any new non-commercially proven new technology out there like DLE. We don't need any of that. We can stick to what it works. We can improve over that, but if it doesn't work, we're already at a worst case scenario, which is the first quartile of the industry. So that's a fantastic starting point for us. So significant, very low OPEX, CAPEX in relationship to our peers. We are slightly cheaper, and we can see that we have room for improvement as well. And the mine life of our project for the conclusion was 20,000 tons of lithium carbonate equivalent at a battery grade for a life of 40 years.
Wow.
That's
exciting.
Very exciting. But not only that, I feel like an info commercial. We use only 60% of the total resource that we could have used, because we have a transaction.
Conservative.
And we have a transaction in between. Yeah, we finalized the purchase of Del Condor from a Canadian company. So, look, it's been like a puzzle. Everything start fitting in. We get in the big picture. We have the numbers.
All the pieces of the puzzle are coming together.
Absolutely, yeah. We're very pleased and where we at, and it's not just me. The whole team in Argentina and Chile and the board excited about where it's taking us. So the strong PEA, $1 billion NPV with a very conservative price for lithium long term. Look, the long term price of lithium, it is pretty much what it's the spot price today,
Yep.
and the lithium price hasn't not even run.
And the demand hasn't even kicked in yet.
Yeah, so low lithium pricing gave us $1 billion NPV.
Yep.
So we know that the
You've got something to benchmark against now.
and we have not even touched Candelas, which is our other project that we have to the east. So then that itself can add more value. But we're focusing today at Hombre Muerto West, high grade, the highest grade of the two and the larger of the two. But it doesn't mean that Candelas doesn't have any value. So
Putting your time where it's meant to be.
correct.
Yeah. All right, let's move on and look at another exciting news. You raised 10 million.
Yeah, well,
No easy feat.
well, look, we before the cap raise, we had we done a corporate transaction. We got 80% of Greenbushes South, which is pretty much 3 k's south from the Greenbushes mine, the open pit. So what we see there is that the geological setting of this has potentially an upside, and we have to do our work there methodologically. The exploration work needs to be done and tick all the boxes before thinking of even drilling.
Yep.
However, the setting that we have is encouraging, and we'll do the work in due course, and we're doing some work behind the scenes in there, but
And sticking with lithium, obviously.
Oh, of course, we're not moving away from it. Yeah, and but this is a project in Australia, different jurisdiction, and it's closer to home. We're in Perth, so there's something that I can give a different type of push. But our main focus will remain in Argentina, and the work in Greenbushes will come out in due course. So,
And WA's got it renowned for lithium.
for lithium, yeah. So if we get, what is very attractive about Greenbushes is the largest lithium mine in the world with the highest grade in the world as well.
Yeah.
So that's the main thesis. That's why it got our attention.
A good working model.
Yeah,
Proven.
correct. So, but just to move on into the cap raise, after having the PEA cap, Greenbushes and so on, there was a very strong interest from our own registry, meaning Thematica. That has participated in the previous 2 cap raises. They wanted to be more involved with us and have a larger stake into Galant. So
Well, that's strong support from your current holders.
correct. So by
Very positive sign.
we couldn't be happier with they have invested quite a bit in us, and they committed to $4 million in the cap raise of when we did 10.
That's substantial.
Yeah.
Substantial.
They have 5.7% of Galant today. So they've been, buying also shares a market. They converted the options. These guys, they don't invest this small
They're in
amount
it
of
for the
money.
long term.
Correct. They,
Very positive sign,
yeah. And
especially for the market.
absolutely. And when you see what they've done, within 6 months, they put a lot of money in this, and they were quite aggressive. They wouldn't be thinking like this if they were not convincing of the strong
Didn't
long term
believe.
that we have. Yeah.
Yep. And that reflects your good work and your team's good work.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to some more good news. We've talked about the Greenbushes acquisition. Let's talk about the announcement today with Hombre Muerto West.
Well, the update today was just to keep people informed that our work hasn't stopped. We were delayed in Chile because COVID,
Yes.
the restrictions of COVID, the university closed down, their labs closed down. There was a few things that
out of your control.
out of my control, and then we need to respond to that because I didn't want to stop doing what we said that we'll do.
Yeah.
So that
Keeping the market informed.
yeah, and what we correct, and what we've done is we came out with a solution with the Ad Infinitum guys, with our chemical engineers. They've got they not just spawn experts. These guys can get all the way to lithium carbonate. It's not just because some people to get confused that they are just on ponds. That's their strength. These guys can get all the way to the production of battery grade lithium carbonate. They've got previous experience with SQM and Albemarle in Chile.
Yep.
So
Great references.
absolutely. And so this is pretty much also to say to the market, we're still on track. We'll have the by the end of the month, March, we should have the results, and also to indicate that we're fully funded to execute all the work that we need to do for the studies at Hombre Muerto West. Our cash position is not far off $15 million. We got around $5 million in options that will convert in due course, in my view, because they're all in the money.
Yep.
We're close to 50 cents, and some of the conversion is 21 cents, 25 cents, and so on. So
Fantastic. Without having to go out and raise more money.
Correct. So 2021, it's all about delivering on what we said we'll do, and our
And do you want to just reflect on that again? What you want to deliver in 2021?
It's all the steps of the scoping. Sorry, all the steps that are not scoping. All the steps that need to be done in a feasibility study. You know, we need to come out with research. We need to come out with a pilot plant. We need to come out with a lot of very strong engineering and pretty much at the quote level, because I want Galan to be a producer, and I want to make sure that we get it right. You know, we have one shot at this.
Yes.
And as soon as I can,
we all know how difficult mining is in getting a project to production.
Yeah, and as soon as I can go to Argentina, I will make myself present more. But a lot of credit to my team that these guys have done fantastic to date. So,
and not an easy task working remotely. So, Good job, JP.
Thank you.
And is there anything else you'd like our listeners to tell our listeners before we finish off?
That this is, I insist always that this is a marathon. If I could choose who I want to be in this tale, I am the tortoise. We'll bit by
patience.
Patience. Yeah, we'll get to the end,
yes.
And this company is going to grow significantly in the long term. Yeah. If you look at the market conditions, fast forward a year, fast forward 2 years, and the demand of lithium will go bonkers.
Keep increasing.
And won't be enough supply in 2 years to match that.
And in that time, you'll keep positioning yourself to be one of the players.
Correct. But I will be showing results, hard data results. We'll be doing things on site. And I'm looking at things from the simplest possible solution, knowing technology that works, that it's people, I want people to be confident that we'll get there. We're not dependent on technology. We're not depending on anything that has not commercially been viable or shown. Yep. And so our risk approach is averse into doing new things. We don't want to be the first. We don't have to, because
we've got options.
We have options because high-grade, low impurities. But the study, one of the fundamental things that's shown is that we're already one of the cheapest potential producers at the cost curve in the industry. So
that stand out.
And we're already correct, and we already identify improvements in everything that we're doing.
Yeah, no matter how much you're always looking to see if it can be improved even more.
Look at our closest DLE competitor. We already even produce less, in less lithium carbonate than them. We're already $600 less per ton.
Yes,
in terms
that's
of
significant.
So that's
what 20%.
20%.
More than 20%.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, fantastic.
And then our solution is low carbon footprint, is low energy intensity, and low water consumption. So when you compare those things, we don't have to come out to look for the energy. We don't have to go and trying to see how we're going to get all the water that we need to, how are we going to make this work. Yep. We are in a remote area, and so from that point of view, I am confident that we'll get there. It's just patience to people that
patience. And that's the key, investors, patience and timing.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I can't do the timing, but the patience I can do a lot.
Well, you're doing a lot. I think over the next, as you've already mentioned, the next 2 to 5 years, the demand for lithium is just going to increase.
Oh, yeah, and we want to be well positioned.
Positioning yourself well
Absolutely.
For that.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, look, JP, it's been a pleasure catching up with you again. And until next time, thanks very much for your time, JP.
Well, thanks very much, and I look forward to updating you in the next few months with more exciting news.
Excellent. Thanks again.
Ta.